keep talking about to serving you. They're gonna turn this kid into a god. I said it ages ago. I literally said this ages ago. It was the commander when she said, like, what was it? We need a god to believe in or something like that, or a god worth fighting for or something. I was like, there's a very specific reason why she gave 9S all this information. She said that to him, surely. But why 9S? I don't really know. But out of all of the other Yorha, or androids or whatever, but we look forward to serving you. I feel like, is it going to come down to like the machines feel like the final thing they're missing in order to win the war is something to fight for, and like if they have like a godlike figure, then they'll have like this ultimate figure to fight in the name of or fight for, and that's what will help them wipe out the androids or something. I don't know. Some strong hints being thrown around. Ooh.
Alert. Enemy caution level rising. Cause is most likely concerned over Unit 9S gaining access to tower.
Out of my way!
Yeah, there's one way to get them out of the way very fast. Up to it.
Damn it!
What's going on?
They won't stop coming!
A2?
Alert. Allied signal detected.
Allies?
Ooh.
Wait, you?
Mm-hmm.
9S, we've been expecting you.
Say what now? Oh.
The two of us will take things from here. You need to open the door to the tower.
You go, girls.
Devola? Popola? What are you doing here?
Remember your promise?
What are you talking about?
Come on, 9S. Hack in while you can.
None of this makes any sense!
No. I got a bit distracted. Look at that music. Dun, dun, dun. Right, can they really protect me here? Or are we going to watch the death of the twins here? Go on, girls. Okay, there's like an invisible barrier around me. Hang in there, man. Doing a good job.
You just focus on hacking.
They really do got it right now. They're crushing it. Come on. Get it, get it, get it. Done. Oh, okay, I've only just... There's no time limit though, so... Gotta not do anything stupid here, because then I'd need all of that time to hack again. That's not what you want. So I'll take it easy with my hacks. So I can snipe these guys out. This one just homing in on me. Here we go.
What's this barrier?
Analysis. It is part of a closed defensive system.
Well, how do I break it down?
Hypothesis. Unit 9S could permit his self-consciousness data to lose control.
Say what now?
The resulting energy surge has an acceptable probability of temporarily paralyzing the barrier.
Wow.
That's almost as bad as not going in at all!
shit.
What happened?
It's the barrier.
Popola!
No, don't! You can't do anything! The wall's got a self-closing
Enough!
algorithm!
Devola and I, we have to atone for our sins no matter what!
But if you do that, your circuits will...
Devola! Right.
Devola!
I hope you don't regret this.
Wow. Well, that's 1 out of 2 of them. Maybe she can be salvaged? Look at me still trying to remain optimistic here after 50 hours of nothing but depression and pain in this game. Here we go. Data records discovered for units Devola and Popula. Do you wish to open this data now? Yes. A dusty wind kisses my cheeks. Buried in sand, we press forward one step at a time. We have nowhere else to go, after all. Because our models, the Devola and Popula models, are defective. Record. Transitions in the project's initial phase. When first we woke, there were still people. They had flesh, egos, emotions, souls, and they issued us a single order. Function as observers of Project Gestalt. There we go. There it is again. This is the sole mission of the twin Devola and Popula models. It is the only reason we exist at all. We were the latest model, though many companions shared our appearance. There was a sparkle in all of our eyes, a sense of pride at having been entrusted with humanity's future. And yes, there was anxiety as well. But we existed as a pair, we shared destiny's burden as a pair, and because of that, all hesitation was swept away. Each pair was given their own cities as observation areas. We were ordered to guide the replicants with our own hands, all for the sake of the promised time that would one day arrive. We were the only ones who could handle such a duty. We were observers, after all. Ah! Watch out! Devola struggles and falls in the soft yet unforgiving sand. I hurry to her side and sigh with relief when I find she's not seriously hurt. Are you alright? Sorry, sis. Guess I spaced out there for a bit. She smiles, the same wry smile I know so well, as she rubs absently at her leg. It is wrapped in a white bandage. Your bandage is coming undone. Here, let me change it. It's alright, Popula. Come on, we have to go before we lose the light. We won't be going anywhere if sand gets into that thing. Now quit whining and hold still. I'll be quick. Devola grunts and turns away. I take it as consent. Soon we are resting in the shade of a nearby rock as I pull the bandage free. Artificial skin, torn and bloodied, peeks out from beneath the bandage. Judging by Devola's current lack of ambulatory control, I imagine the circuitry underneath has been damaged as well. Taking a deep breath, I check the circuitry to see if it can be repaired. Replace the bandage and hope for the best. What? How does that work? So we're literally, we're following on their story live? That's interesting. I mean, obviously check the circuitry to see if it can be repaired, surely. As expected, wiring in the nerve circuitry has been damaged. Replacing it will require new connectors, as well as some tools. None of which is easy to find in a desert. Sorry about this, sis, mutters Devola. That wry smile again. It kills me every time. Don't you dare apologize, I respond. You've done nothing wrong. I calmly change the bandage, trying not to let my worries show. I make it as tight as possible so no sand can slip inside. It's all I can do until I get the proper materials. but that's going to be a tall order, considering our current situation. I'm sorry, sister. Okay, now you're apologizing. We both apologize while insisting the other's apology isn't necessary. It's kind of funny in a way. Such a trivial exchange under such circumstances. We laugh together, the sound echoing across the desert before we... Report regarding the increase in relapses. There has to be some way to prevent relapses. Devola's sharp voice echoes through our private quarters. You must be quiet, sister. The replicants will hear. Pfft, they wouldn't even understand if they did. That might be true, but regardless. Annoyed at my hesitation, Devola crosses her legs and scowls. The black scrawl took another victim, she says. That's 3 this month. It's spreading way too fast. Let's wait and see what happens. I'm tired of hearing you say that. Her shout makes me jump. Just a little, but enough for her to notice. Seeing that, her eyes suddenly open wide. I'm sorry, sis. It's not your fault. I shouldn't have lashed out like that. It's okay. I understand. It's all going wrong. You can feel it too, right? When I was first assigned to Project Gestalt, I was over the moon with pride. But now, my chest hurts just to think about it. If it were to fail. Before we knew it, the replicants had gained a sense of self, and the black scrawl started raging out of control. It moved fast. So fast. Like a wind. Popula and I would go to the observation room and act as if it was all okay. We'd talk to the replicants as if we didn't have a care in the world, but at night, we'd just hold each other and share the horror of it all. I'm glad you were with me, murmurs Popula. I couldn't have handled being an observer all alone. We were able to endure because we had each other, I reply softly. Did the humans see this coming? Is that why they made a twin model? Were they really so clever? Were they really so cruel? I couldn't have done this by myself. I would have descended into madness. I simply couldn't bear such a burden all alone. When I get the chance, I'm going to try contacting another city, she says. Maybe these abnormalities are a localized phenomenon. I pray that's the case, I reply. Even if we're of no use ourselves, things will still work out if the other observers can pull through. Don't worry, it's going to be okay. But it wasn't okay. Nothing was okay. All thanks to a pair of Devola and Popula models from another town. The wind rubs my cheeks, the sand grazes my skin. It's grown cold out here. We walk with renewed purpose, hoping to make up for lost time. Devola loses her balance every now and then. It gets bad after a while. I slip myself under her arm so she won't fall again, and we press on. Is your leg alright? Well, I doubt I'll be dancing anytime soon, but yeah, it's fine. She smiles as she says this, but I can tell she doesn't have much left, and yet she continues to smile. Also, I won't worry. I remember when our resistance allies injured her leg. I was furious, beyond fury. I wanted to scream and cry and lose myself in it, but then she smiled, and all of that rage just drifted away. To think we have the same face, yet such different smiles. One day, I realized how she reminded me of the martyrs I'd seen in old records. That was the day we decided to leave our town forever. Record of Project Gestalt's end. Our role as observers ended on the day Project Gestalt collapsed, all due to the actions of Devola and Popula models from another town. With the original Gestalt lost, humanity was doomed to an inevitable extinction. Knowing this, we gathered what remaining replicant data we could find and launched it to the surface of the moon. And though success was as unlikely as finding a lost grain in the desert, a lost sand grain in the desert, we still had to attempt it. We still had to try. We were androids, you see. Protecting humanity was our instinct. Other androids, beholden to that same instinct, began to direct their hate at the Devola and Popula models who snuffed out humanity. It started small, a few offhand remarks, the occasional glance. But even the smallest things have weight, and with enough of them combined, that weight eventually becomes a boulder. Emotions boiled over, remarks became jeers, and soon enough, my sister and I were the perfect target for persecution. At first, we simply accepted the fact that our friends had turned on us. It was almost unavoidable, I suppose. We were observers of Project Gestalt after all. And while we didn't cause it to fail, the people who did, well, they looked just like us. So we accepted it. We took the resentment and scorn. We endured. Because as crazy as it sounds, I think we actually felt responsible. We moved from town to town in an effort to avoid persecution, but in one such town, my seemingly infinite patience finally broke. My sister, Devola, met with unprovoked violence at the hands of a resistance member. She said something in response to his taunts. Something quiet. And though her words were ambiguous, he slashed her leg nearly in two. My vision narrowed, everything went red, and then she smiled at me. "It's okay, sis. There's nothing we can do." But it was too late. My emotions were no longer in my control. I'm simply not strong enough to stand aside and let the most important person in the world come to harm. Devola and I left town the same day. Violence like that wouldn't stop. It was going to happen again. And it wouldn't be coming just from one person. So rather than let them kill us, we ran. I guess it was the greatest resistance I could muster. We lose the sun as dark clouds gather overhead. We continue our march. A cold wind blasts us, stealing what little body heat we have left. I smell rain in the air. We continue our march. Sometimes we hear animals howling in the distance. It makes us flinch every time. But we continue our march, because even this is better than suffering at the hands of our fellow androids. Why must we suffer this persecution? I know we're the same model as the androids who doomed humanity, so I understand that part. At least a little, anyway. But at the same time, we're not them. We're not the same. We are who we are. And that Devola and Popula are who they were. That's how I felt when I saw Devola being hurt. I wanted to shout it at everyone. I wanted to scream. As far as I'm concerned, there's only one Devola. And for her, there's only me. No one can take the other's place. Rain falls from the sky. It stimulates our sensation nerves like cold needles. We need maintenance badly, but that's a pipe dream, I suppose. No android would dare help a pair of outcasts like us. Are you cold, Devola? I'm alright as long as you're with me, sis. I feel the same. We press our bodies together to try and retain heat. It's cold now, much worse than the searing heat of midday, but we just smile at each other and keep pressing on. There's another camp on the other side of the desert. A new camp. If we can just get there, I can finally fix Devola's leg. And yet I wonder if there's anywhere on the planet that will take us. Hey, what's wrong? It's nothing. Don't worry about it. I do what I can to suppress the anxiety in my chest and keep walking. The rain grows worse. It lashes at us without pause. Is this our punishment? I reach out and touch Devola's cheek, support Devola's body. Support Devola's body? As long as we have bodies to support one another. As long as I have someone with whom to share my fate. Then I will press on, no matter what happens to me. Because I won't ever stop protecting her. I won't stop. No one stops. For that is the fate we twin androids have been assigned. And now one of them dies. Pod 153. The failure to manage the area resulted in the collapse of the Gestalt system, which led to the decimation of the human race due to the discovery of its instability. The twin system was removed from future Android production designs. Following the incident, the Devola and Popula models were not dismantled. However, in order to prevent further unexpected behavior, they underwent a memory wipe. Furthermore, they were reprogrammed to generate constant feelings of guilt. Oh, shit.
That is all that remains from their personal record during the era in which they were referred to as administrators.
I see.
Query: why do the androids Devola and Popula seem to prefer death over surviving alone? There was a very high probability that at least one could have escaped.
I hope you never have to understand.
Affirmative.
Yeah, I mean...
Query: why does this tower possess an entrance at all? All material transport takes place via aerial vehicles. It is irrational for an infiltration route to be so easily accessible. Hypothesis: entrance is a trap.
Yep. Absolutely agree with that, but hey, what a story. Devola and Popula. I mean, again, I couldn't tell if it was like... I know he implied that if you guys go in and do this, that your circuits are going to be fried, but only one of them did. And... I don't know, like, are they both definitely dead? I mean, it seems like they probably are, but... that story was really interesting, like, the way they... The fact that you have a set of androids created in that way was really powerful to me, like, creating them as twins, because they knew the burden that they would face, and it's always easier to face a burden when you don't have to face it alone, and the fact they always had each other. So that's why, again, of course, it hits extra hard when obviously one of them is going to die, because they are so codependent, and basically they're almost like Siamese twins that aren't literally attached to each other. If one dies, there's always a chance that the other one is just a literal piece of them will die. And the fact that after all of that story we see what happened to them is just, it wasn't their fault. The only thing that got me was they keep saying that it wasn't them, but then at the end it was like their memories have been wiped and they were programmed to feel constant feelings of guilt. I mean, is the implication there that eventually these models were found and they had their memories wiped, and that's why they think it's someone else or something? Like, is that how it works? So I couldn't like 100% tell if it was definitely them or not, but I'm gonna take like their word for it at the moment. I'll ask around later and I'll read up on it just to be sure, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I got these, and I'm pretty sure it's not them. But great story, and it was nice to get that background on them as well. I think it was really important. I don't know how much the choices that I made affected anything, like touching the cheek versus like supporting the body and that kind of stuff, but I don't know. Now, I believe I should be getting the rest of the Project Gestalt reports here, so then I can have a read of them. Maybe it gives more insight into what exactly happened as well and how it all went to shit. So I guess we're going to find out. I can save here. I can. Okay, good. So I will. Because, like Pod 42 said, it's feeling very much like a trap to me. Well, maybe not even a trap, more like an invitation.
I don't care. I just have to kill them all.
Okay. The finale. I hope I don't miss Gestalt Report 9 and 11. That'd be annoying if I do. The architecture does give me a little bit of Bloodborne vibes, like a very... Ooh. It's going to be like a greatest hits. We're going to fight all of our best buddies. This is great. This is just what we need. But yeah, it does give me like... It's much, obviously, very, very clean looking Bloodborne vibes. A little bit, anyway. I mentioned Bloodborne a few times, I think, in this playthrough. That's how you know a game's left an impression on you. If
Corrupted your
oh,
units.
no. Wait. I want to get the chest first, yo. Level 50. Oh, they're taking a lot of damage here. Sorry, dear. How do they get them? Let me unlock this chest. This might be number 9. Well, screen went weird for a second. So is it a more difficult hack? There's number 9. Okay, so I think if I have 1 to 10, I think I should take some time to read it. Yes, I have 1 to 10 now. Okay, I've read so much that my throat's a bit dry right now, but I'm pretty sure we've already been through most of these. So, yeah, the masso particle, the technology enables the separation of soul from the body, and the independent preservation of both will be the final defense against the unprecedented threat to humanity. Yeah, that's the Project Gestalt. So separating the soul from the body and preserving both. So that's the premise. The number of civilians having undergone the Gestalt process remains at 4. We received a report from the lab indicating that the basic technology of the replicant system is expected to be completed by the end of August. Verifications of its safety along with clinical trials will be conducted from September through November. A report will be submitted to the Prime Minister indicating that the completion of the replicant system will represent a tremendous leap forward for Project Gestalt. This report will be handled by the Public Relations Department. So August the 23rd, 2025 here. So, summary. A report has been submitted to the Prime Minister regarding the rampaging weapons incident that has occurred at the National Arms Laboratory in June. Though the laboratory's budget and allocated human resources are expected to see significant cuts, a team of staffers will continue Masso research under the umbrella of Project Gestalt. Records of human experimentation conducted using Masso are scheduled to be disclosed to concerned parties separately as Level 6 classified information. Well, okay, so 7 years later, through the use of Masso technology related to multi-dimensional worlds, 13 activation systems have been completed, including Grimoire Noir. We have also confirmed that these systems can be used to return Gestalts to their replicant forms once the white chlorination syndrome has been fully eliminated. Work necessary for this system will be conducted by the Grimoire Noir Project Workgroup. Grimoire is one of these words that I've seen a few times before. I've never had to read it out loud before. I think it's Grimoire? Grimoire? It's not a word I've ever heard said out loud either. So, my bad if it's wrong, but it's getting confusing now though. Multi-dimensional worlds, 13 activation systems have been completed, including Grimoire Noir. Grimoire Noir sounds more poetic, so I'll go with that. We've confirmed that these systems can be used to return Gestalts to their replicant forms. Okay. So another 11 years after this, today's committee meeting was cancelled due to the absence of a majority of members. The contact network for urgent absences is to be confirmed at a later date. And then, a year, well, yeah, about 8-9 months after that, it has been decided that the United Nations will launch a full-scale investigation and infiltration operation in order to determine the cause of the massive Legion outbreak in the Tokyo area. Details regarding the process of Project Gestalt are to be shared as part of this effort, though we will insist that any information which leaves the country must first be thoroughly verified by our committee. In particular, information regarding relapses, named tentative, must be kept in the strictest confidence. Massive Legion outbreak. Okay, 8 years later. As Project Gestalt undergoes approval in countries across the world, we recognize that there have been imperfections in how information has been regulated with regards to civilians. Until the safety of the final system has been verified, all information related to this matter is subject to Level 4 classification. As such, its relation to the Ministry of Health and Welfare's Life Rehabilitation Program must be kept strictly confidential. Furthermore, we ask that the following information be sent to all related personnel and organizations immediately. Clauses regarding compensation in the event of information leaks are to be added to contracts with all partner companies. In the event of an information leak, ascertaining the source should be the company's top priority. Please refer to Countermeasure C for information on how to handle leaked information, as well as the individuals who disclosed it. Okay. So, another year later. The discovery and development of the original has contributed greatly to the stabilization of Project Gestalt. Long-term management of the original will be handled by the Hamelin organization. As per the management mentioned above, all authority regarding the cryogenic plans for the relapse Yona is to be transferred to the Hamelin organization. I'm going to need another look at this. Discovery and development of the original has contributed greatly. Long-term management of the original. Okay. So all of these are fairly, well, relatively close together in time. And then we've got 2054, and then we jump 700 years afterwards. We've received troubling reports from multiple administration zones that the replicants have started to behave as if they have developed senses of self. It is currently under investigation what implications this might have for Project Gestalt as a whole. As other disclosable matters have already been directed to the administrators, they have been omitted here. Yeah, I would have loved to have had 11, and there's like a giant 700-year gap, which is a bit crazy. We have 9 covering like 40 years, and then we have 1 jumping ahead 700 years. But this relapse Yona, regarding the cryogenic plans for the relapsed Yona. I do wonder how this stuff is going to tie into this situation as well. Anyway, let's proceed. So 11 should be here as well, if I remember correctly.